Okay, guys, hope you're well. I'm going to go to ask Scruff, and it's a hypothetical question, but I'm going to answer it in real world terms because I think that's the way forward. Um, it's why you always see me trade in the moment. I never use a real rollback chart or anything. I do believe in real world trading rather than hypotheticals. Okay, so if somebody came to me and asked this question, this is how I would answer it. So it's a question for Stephen. Hi, Scruff. A bit of a different question for you. Let's say you got 50k account, personal funds, and you're only looking for 10 pips a day to meet your living requirements. I'm still working as a full-time job and I want to leave it, so I prefer using this system. And then there's listed a few that I do, the river push, no man's, red light, green light, and only want to add levels and fibs when needed till I have more time for golden eye and analyzing charts. Well, that's a red flag to start with. Which system do you feel can offer a stronger signal on a day trade coupled with good trade management? Right, so that's kind of contradicting what's going on. I'm also keeping in mind that if I change from a daily chart, the signals get weaker and different systems give earlier and later action points. Okay, there's quite a bit to unpack there. So the first part of it is you got 50k, right? So that's a substantial amount of money. If you're unaware of the markets and you're relatively new, I certainly wouldn't be putting 50k into the markets. The next red flag was you only want to put on levels and fibs, etc., when you've got more time to analyze. In that scenario, I'd be questioning whether you should be day trading at all, simply because if you haven't got time to do the analysis, you're going to make a mistake. And £50,000 is a lot of money. So my advice at that point would be put your money into an index tracker and then just gradually DCA into it over a period of time and let the investment grow naturally. However, if you've got to work in an environment and you want to go to market just simply for 10 pips, that automatically rules out the river and no man's land because they're end of day charts and you need a greater 10 pip reward because the stops are massive. Okay, it's the nature of a daily chart and a swing chart, so you would automatically rule them out, which kind of leaves you with the push and the red light, green light. Now, to get 10 pips out of both of them is relatively easy, and then it comes down to what kind of time frame that you have. Now, both of those, you really need to be looking at an hourly chart at the top of the hour. Okay, the stronger of the two is red light, green light, and you should normally be able to get 10 pips out of it relatively easy, but you'll have to look at various different charts and then stick with them. So look at a couple of Forex pairs and stick with it. All right, don't try and jump from chart to chart to chart. But if time is so limited, I would be more inclined to look at end of day charts and look for a greater than a 10 pip target. Okay, that'll mean reducing the position size down, but look for a greater upside, and certainly be marking your charts and fibs up. If you try to go into the market without any levels and then put them in ad hoc afterwards, it's a recipe for disaster. Those levels are crucial to everything you do, and it doesn't matter if you're scalping, swing trading, day trading, or position trading. If you haven't got those levels in the right place, you're trading blind. So again, you've got to think about what your lifestyle is and how you can operate. If you're working and you can't monitor, by definition, you've got to go into an end of day strategy. Now, you can sort of do it on 4-hour charts, so you'll only look at them a couple of times, but your 10 pips won't cut it. If 10 pips is all you're after, you need to be able to look at your charts on the top of each hour, and then of the two, it's red light, green light. But I can't stress enough, if you're not putting any sort of analysis into it and you're looking for a magic system, it will collapse. Every chart and every trade needs some form of analysis. any trigger, bias sheet, various different things that I use, they're only there to give me a view of the marketplace. I then got to go into that particular chart and then drill into it to understand whether it's feasible at that moment. So unfortunately, this is a job, and if you're not putting the work in, you're not getting the reward out. So that's the way I would look at this. Hope that helps. Catch you soon.